Now let's click over here on the Zoom tool in the toolbar. It looks like a little magnifying glass, and the keyboard shortcut for that is pretty intuitive. It's the Z key for zoom. Now with the Zoom tool selected, there's several different ways we can use it. If we want to just zoom in on a specific area, I can just click and click and click, and each time that will get me a little bit closer. Now if I want to zoom in on a specific area and fill up my document window with just that specific area, I can click, hold, and drag, and when I let go, it will fit that zoomed area to the view. Now to zoom out, press the Alt key on Windows or Option on Mac, and each time you Alt or Option click, it'll also zoom out. Now to view this document at 100%, I would just double-click the Zoom tool. To fit in window, double-click the Hand tool. Now in addition to navigating with the tools, also notice up here in the View menu we have several options for zooming in, zooming out, fitting page, and so on. You can use these zoom commands, and after a while I think you'll start to memorize the keyboard shortcuts that correspond to these commands. The one that I use most often, Fit Page in Window, is just Control-0 or Command-0 on the Mac. We're already at that view, and that's an easy way to get a quick overview of the document you're working on. Now the last way I'll show you to zoom and navigate a document here is actually in the bottom left corner of your document window. There are several zoom options, including this pull-down menu, which is populated by a list of predetermined zoom values. Maybe you want to zoom in to 800% and view something real quickly. Notice that you have zoom values anywhere from 5%, holy smokes that's tiny, all the way up to 4,000%. Again, I'll press Control-0 on Windows or Command-0 on Mac to fit the document in the window, and we'll look at some more ways to navigate your documents. Now I'm going to grab the Zoom tool again and click and drag and zoom in on just this tiny area. So in this example, I want to look at some details of this layout, and let's go ahead and close up the Layers panel, and I'd like to look at other parts of this document zoomed in to this value, about 600%. You can see that here in the bottom left corner of the document window. Now one way to do this would be to scroll. I could grab the thumb slider, or I could actually click these arrows and scroll, and that's not rocket science, but it's kind of tedious, and I just want to get things done as fast as possible, especially with deadlines looming. So with that in mind, I'm going to grab the Hand tool over here in the toolbar. The keyboard shortcut for that is the letter H, same on Mac and Windows, and now with a Hand tool, you can quickly just drag and pan all around the document window. Much faster, much easier than using those tiny little scroll bars. Now I mentioned that the H key is the shortcut for the Hand tool, but there is one real problem. What if I have my Type tool and I'm editing type and I want to get the Hand tool? You press the letter H and, well, what do you know? You get the letter H. So I'm going to delete that. Your shortcut in this scenario on Windows is the Alt key. On Macintosh, it's the Option key. And just in this text editing environment, your cursor temporarily changes to the Hand tool, so you can pan even though you're editing text. So if you prefer panels, go to the Window menu, choose Object and Layout, and open up the Navigator panel. The Navigator panel will look very familiar if you've ever used Adobe Photoshop, and this allows you to use very similar zoom controls. Here you could type in a value maybe like 750% and hit Enter or Return, and it'll zoom in. You can use these little mountain icons to zoom out, to zoom in, as well as the slider here. And the best part of this, you see the little red area here, this little red rectangle, that shows us our zoom location. So I can just drag that around as a really quick way to zoom in on different areas of this proxy thumbnail of my entire page.